Hello, it's TheMarchHare
and ServbotSteve
for Blankforthemasses, and we watched another movie.
We saw Red Dead Redemption Grit Redemption, starring Tron guy. No, we saw True Grit,
also known as True Grit, with
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges. I should learn his name by now.
Yeah, you should.
So, it's your turn to go first this time.
Sure.
So initial. What would you? How's this? Sum it up with one word.
Western.
Western. That's not a very good word. I'm going to try one. How about dignified? That's not a good one either. So, let's not put a spoiler warning. Let's talk about the movie from like a movie standpoint rather than a plot standpoint first. Like,
okay. Very well shot, nice cinematography, good acting by Jeff Bridges, excellent turn by the girl who I think this is her first movie outing.
Possibly.
Yeah, pretty sure.
I really didn't like her. I don't know, like...
Well, you're not supposed to like her.
I guess not. I mean, it's not like... How's this? Her performance was fine as an actress, but the character I did not like. The character got in the way of the Western. Because it's like... The main setup is that you got...
It's a loss of innocence story. The whole point is that she's a, like, fuddy-duddy, I'm by the rules, and everybody else around her is like, this is the Western. What are you doing?
Nah, I did not like it. And you know, actually, to be honest, I didn't... I mean, I guess I was entertained in parts, but I don't actually often run into movies that I would thumbs down, but I would actually thumbs down this one. Not like as a, this is a bad movie, but like, just not good enough to meet my rather lax standards.
Because see, your problem is, in a Western, you want something like the good, the bad, the weird.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like, I guess, like, when it's like, it was Hollywood in the wrong ways. Like, it didn't have enough of Hollywood in the sense of, like, glorifying the West.
It's an art house film, you could argue. It's a Coen Brothers movie. That's what they do.
I don't know.
But yeah, we're getting a little off track here.
Suppose so. Jeff Bridges! Yeah,
Jeff Bridges was
Listening to old prospector garble for a large part of the movie was great. I enjoyed doing that, because that's one of the two things that Jeff Bridges does amazingly well. He did that a lot of old prospectory type stuff as Obadiah Stane in the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
Not as obvious, but you know. That's one of the things that I've talked about is being able to do well, and he does that rather well. So his character did fine. And then Jason Bourne.
Yeah, you had Matt Damon, and he was LaBeef.
Yeah, LaBeef, I believe, or at least that's what Jeff Bridges called him. So we should probably talk a little bit about him, because otherwise we're not going to.
Yeah, the Matt Damon character LaBeef.
Yeah.
He's the he's sort of a fuddy-duddy played by the rule guy. He's like, I'm a Texas Ranger. That makes me serious business.
Yeah, very, very proud of his own profession and his people's, I suppose.
When in fact, he's a Texas Ranger.
He doesn't really...
He's out of his jurisdiction.
And he's not quite as skilled as he likes to throw off.
But he's not a half bad shot either. He's a good sniper.
In a Hollywood sense, yeah. I guess maybe now would be the time to post just the preliminary spoiler warnings.
Yeah, just forewarning, it's late. We might spoil something.
It's not too late.
It's not a bad... Yeah, we're not midnight releasing this one.
It's not. Well, it's midnight now, but it's.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's not 2:30 like last time. I don't know. Like, I guess it took steps to be like I guess one of the objectives of this movie was to make a Western movie without like romanticizing it to the point where it becomes unrealistic, because there's actually a couple of scenes where it's like, yeah, these guys aren't actually like perfect in every way. In fact, I actually kind of became disenchanted with the Jeff Bridges character after he became incredibly drunk, because that was kind of depressing, really.
That's half the whole...
I understand that's the point, but I didn't like the point.
The thing is, we went in making jokes about like, oh, this is Red Dead Redemption, the movie. It kind of is. The whole idea is that the West isn't really like the idealized West. It's a bunch of guys who went around shooting because that was what was the paying job out there.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad film by any means. If you like other Coen Brothers stuff, it's right up your alley, especially if you like No Country for Old Men. This is almost the exact same movie in some ways.
I wouldn't know.
Oh no, that's a bit of strong of a statement on my part, but it's a very similar disenchanted story, and it's not bad, but it's not a Hollywood stylized Western. It's not a Quentin Tarantino, oh, look at my action skills. It is it's a very deliberate paced movie, and it's good. I have to give it a like middle of the road thumb. And the critics are giving it high scores, and that's a lot to do with the fact that it's the Coen brothers and Jeff Bridges behind this.
Which I love Jeff Bridges. Like his performance in this was fantastic.
We love Jeff Bridges. I like some of the Coen brothers stuff. I dislike some of their other stuff.
Again, I don't think I would know. Did they do The Matrix?
No, that's the Wachowski brothers.
Right.
It's an okay movie. I mean, if you like westerns and you like...
I mean, it's not a western in the sense like the old, like, awesome black and whites and stuff. Like, you're not gonna...
It's not a John Wayne movie, even though the original True Grit was a John Wayne movie. This is no Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and this is definitely no Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah, this is like a final nod and wink to the western genre.
Yeah, which is great, given, going off topic here, given the Gore Verbinski and Johnny Depp movie that's coming out, which just breaks my heart because I'm a big fan of both. Like, I'm a giant Pirates of the Caribbean fan. That movie's gonna suck.
Yeah, MarchHare is talking about Rango, which is like, Johnny Depp pretending to be a chameleon in the desert. I don't know how that happened. I really don't understand why Gore Verbinski is directing such a thing. I guess, I don't know, like Pirates is up and he's still trying to be a director after being an actor, but to be honest, I don't know enough to speak on that term, but I'm upset on seeing that. It's kind of like seeing your superheroes drunk. Well, in a world where Alice in Wonderland can be nominated for Best Comedy, friggin' Golden Globes, I'm quite sure that movie will make money. You should probably just do a video and get your feelings on the Golden Globes out. I will. Also, little plug here. I don't know if the MarchHare is going to do one. I'm doing a top best games. Oh yeah, I've totally got a list for that. 2010, that's mine. Oh wait, just games in general? Games of 2010 that I like. Oh, I thought you were talking about the like just all-time music as well. I'm not talking about soundtracks. That's a different video. Well, I'm up for both of those. Yeah, no, I'm talking about like the games that I played this year. Yeah, I'll see if I can slap together a list. Yeah. Happy New Year, by the way, everyone. Yeah, it's 2011, the most boring year that's not 2010 and 2012. Yeah. I can't wait for 2012. It's not the apocalypse and it's not the turn of the decade. Whoop-de-doo. So yeah, we're gonna kind of get this median. We should probably do like a New Year video while we're at it, just like what we plan for Blankforthemasses over the next year. We might. I need to get back on the video logs. We apologize. We took a bit of a holiday break. I went skiing. I sat around and got fat. I can't play DDR anymore. Apparently, I gotta learn. So, yeah, getting back on the track with True Grit. True Grit. I mean, like, there's not a whole. I don't think I would recommend it. I can't say like, oh, this is one of the best movies I saw this year, but like all the components of it were well put together. That's the problem. I'm not saying it was like a poorly constructed movie by any means. It's just not my slice of cake. I like my westerns action, like it had action, but like fantasized. I like my westerns with a hint of fantasy, which we'll get to Cowboys and Aliens when that happens. Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's gonna be awesome. Like, or at least awesome in a ridiculous way. Maybe. It'll probably be like best worst movie. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be upset if it doesn't if I don't enjoy it. If it takes itself seriously, all bets are off. There's no way it's gonna take itself seriously. Yeah, no, it's got Harrison Ford in it. It's not gonna take itself seriously after that last Indiana Jones movie. Yeah, but we're not allowed to spoil that one because that would be unexpected. Okay, what else do we got? Because we're done with True Grit. Yeah, we still got a few minutes to go. I don't know, True Grit, there's not much to talk about at this point. I guess, good performances. Yeah, good performances. Action bits where there were. I think there were, like, what? Maybe 3 gunfights at most in that movie. It's very slow-paced. Yeah, I'd say 1 or 2 to 3 maybe real gunfights. There's... Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like an hour in before guns even fire. I really didn't like the protagonist, which doesn't make a good
That doesn't make a good movie when you don't like the protagonist.
I'll do a little bit of character synopsis.
I was kind of hoping that I was like, man, this character's only gonna show up for a little while, kind of like Psycho, where it's like, okay, except for the main character Psycho wasn't so bad, but then it trades off, and eventually the story changes and it's about somebody else. But that's not this movie.
Yeah, no, that's not a spoiler. That's the TheMarchHare making a weird analogy, a not bad analogy for what he wanted. I agree, but whatever.
Wait, one last thing, the ending. Hated. I did not like that ending at all.
I'll discuss the ending. I'll make a spoiler warning.
It was just kind of like, I guess it settles all of its affairs, but it's just like,
you need to see No Country for Old Men, because they pull an ending like that as well.
But I don't like that ending. Why would I want to watch a movie?
You need to understand that's what the directors do.
Well,
that's what these guys do.
Well, if I don't like it, then I shouldn't watch those movies.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not bad.
Maybe we'll watch Alice, the Tim Burton's Alice, and I'll absolutely love it.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I know.
I promise you now, you're not going to. I've looked up that scene of infamy.
Oh, is it that bad? Is it like the facepalm or like audible groan?
Audible groan. They give a name to that dance move. Well, should I opt out for buying Back to the Future and get that instead?
No, just watch Back. That's actually the first Back to the Future is actually an okay movie. It's clever, but I don't think that part 2 and 3 are worth anything.
Buy TheMarchHare. I don't know. When's your next video gonna be done? We never know.
I'll get around to it.
Also, he's working on Alice.
Yeah, next I'm doing Alice next, actually. Anyway, well, all I got left to say is adios.
Oh God.
See ya.
See ya. Okay, from here on out, it's going to be spoiler territory and character discussion, all that, for the next 2-3 minutes, maybe. The main character is the little girl you see. Well, little. She's 14, apparently, in the trailers. And she is very much a business lady. Oh my God. They make a running joke of how business-like she is. She's like, bam, I'm going to, oh, hey, Data. I'm going to make you pay me so much more than what you're going to pay me, and I am going to make deals, and I am the lawyer. And it works. It's kind of funny, but I don't know. The whole point, as I mentioned earlier, is it's her hiring Rooster Cogburn, Jeff Bridges' character, this washed up sheriff, or I guess he's a marshal. And it's her going on this journey with this marshal to find her father's killer, who himself is a complete wash-up of a bandit. He's just, I'm gonna randomly kill. He kills her father for like 2 gold pieces, which I guess is worth something back then, but it's still like, you killed a guy for 2 chunks of metal and a horse. I mean, come on. And that's just how it goes. And it ends up being like her loss of innocence in going around with these 2 really just hosed up gunslinging dudes and going out in the wilderness. And it's not like she's unaccustomed to this. She hints at like, oh, I did stuff back at the ranch, I'm ready. And she pulls some crazy stuff, and she's got guts. It's not like she goes in this completely blind and oblivious to the world. But what bugged me is that it's never shown that she's traumatized by what happens. I'm not saying like, oh, you need to have trauma. You need to be totally blown away by what happened. But like, spoilers, she shoots a guy at point blank. Blows him away. And she shows nothing. Nothing is ever shown that like like there's one scene that like maybe if you interpret it away, maybe she shows a little bit of regret. And stuff happens to her that's like really grisly. Like some of her there's one scene where her character is brought into question. She thought they were going to bury this guy, and they can't. Jeff Bridges says, no, ground's too hard. We can't bury this guy. It's a waste of time. And that's at first she puts up a pretty big deal about it. Never brought up again. There's no big shocks there. And it's upsetting. And I'm ranting about this one character, but that's the point. She's the point of this movie. And the ending. Yes. So they get the bad guy, and normally most westerns, yeah, that's your ending. Maybe you'll have like 5 minutes afterwards. There's a good at least 10 to 15 minutes after that where she gets like bit by a snake, and Jeff Bridges just busting ass, pardon my language, to get her to the nearest doctor. And it's like, it's a really touching scene because he's always giving her a hard time, and they warm up. It's the traditional, like, oh yeah, they're gonna get together and it's gonna be awesome. Not like that. But then it flash forwards 25 years, and she lost her arm from the snake bite, and she gets a call from Jeff Bridges' telegraph from Jeff Bridges, and by the time she gets to this, it's kind of funny, he joins one of those Wild West shooting shows, which I thought was hilarious. And he's dead by the time she gets there. And you have to stop and wonder, so what's the point? And she brings back his body to her, like, family grave area, I guess. And it's touching, but that's true grit. It's... generic's the wrong word, because it is a very well-made Western. But it's like I pointed out, it's a tip and a hat, and not an homage, but like a saying, yes, the Westerns happened, but here's how it really is. It's kind of like Unforgiven in a lot of ways. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about this. I hope you've enjoyed this, I guess, shoot, midnight movie madness at this rate. This has been ServbotSteve for Blankforthemasses, and expect, I don't know when, but videos in the future from us. Happy 2011, guys.